3,
2.
Baba Baloo. We are back. Hello, it is me. It's I, Deric Poston, sexiest man alive. If you're wondering where my hair is, Sam scalped me.
Yep. It was a mutual scalping.
What does that mean? I didn't scalp you. Look at you. You have your hair.
No, but you said
You have your boyish cut.
You asked me to scalp you.
You look like the cutest little boy I have ever seen.
I know,
right?
Look at this hat.
I have never felt more like a pedophile because I'm like, I want to kiss this little boy. Who painted this little boy's nails?
I'm the cutest little boy.
Dude, you're the cutest 8-year-old boy I've ever had sex with. And you know me, I get down.
8-year-old boys.
Your boy gets down. But yeah, you look fucking hot, dude.
Thank you.
And I mean, dude. Sam. Oh, yo. But we're back. Another episode of The Beans. We're here for the Bean Mafia. Sorry we've been away. Out of town. We were out of town doing shows, and we had some technical difficulties. But we're back. We are back, motherfuckers, and we're coming back with a bang. So hope you guys are ready for the day, man. And all the people who have there's only like 12 left, or maybe 13 left of the paid episodes from when people paid. The 13 people who I'm talking to know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get to them. I promise. They're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna get to them. So just relax. Sam, are you ready for today's episode?
Is this a paid episode? Is this one of those?
No, this is just a movie that's awesome.
Oh, wow.
This is just an awesome fucking movie that I'm about to tell you that you've never seen, which is so funny.
How?
Because this movie was on TV after it was in theaters. It was huge in theaters, but it was on TV afterwards. So fucking much.
Is it a TNT or a TBS
Both.
TV?
It's one of those.
Wow.
It's one of those. It was one of those that was on it's everything.
And comedy.
It's everything you could ask for in a movie.
Wow, I'm excited.
With a young rising star at the time, who's now a superstar. But he was, at the time, young rising star.
But now is a superstar.
Now he's super bona fide, super mega star.
Okay.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Normally I'd let you guess, but today, fuck it.
Wow. You haven't let me guess in a long time.
You don't get to guess.
Okay, that's fair. I'm really bad at it.
That's not why. This one is just like, oh, this one's more fun if you see it as it starts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You ready?
Yes.
Bean Mafia, you ready? They never answer. They say yes? Okay, because they never say anything.
It's like Dora.
Oh, it's like Dora the Explorer. It's like, si, bueno.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Vámonos.
Vámonos, the movie.
Vámonos, the movie.
Credits roll. You hear, like, just the names come up on the screen, and you hear, boom, 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 boom. You hear Russians talking.
Russians.
Like, you hear that in the background.
You sure they're not Czech?
Boom. Huh? It could be Czech. Boom. Credits keep rolling. You hear narration. You hear narration the whole movie. Okay? Like by the main character. He's kind of narrating it as the whole movie happens. So a lot of the whole movie is kind of me narrating everything, pretty much. You hear, obviously, I miscalculated a few things. We see a door getting pounded. Eddie, I know you're in there. It's a super nice penthouse suite. Okay? Mm-hmm. Boom, boom, metal door just getting pounded on, right? He goes, why is it, you hear the narration, why is it the moment your life exceeds your wildest dreams, the knife enters the back? We see the bottom of the penthouse building, like where you would enter the building, and you know the doormen, they're all dead. Okay?
Wow, people are dying.
Like this is real. We don't know what's going on, but the situation is intense. Yeah. Here, I'll tell you one thing. The camera pans up to the top floor. We see our lead character on the edge of the building about to jump off.
Whoa.
It's Bradley Cooper.
Whoa, it's Bradley Cooper?
It's Bradley Cooper.
Yo, what's Bradley up to?
I know. It's like, don't kill yourself. Don't kill yourself, Brad. Sam loves you. You can't kill yourself. You're not even Rocket yet.
No, you're not.
That's like your biggest role to me.
That's his biggest role?
Dude, Rocket's like one of the best characters in Marvel.
No, I think his best role is probably...
How to Save a Dance. What's that movie? The movie where he's a singer.
How to Save a Dance?
Lady Gaga.
No, that's Star.
A Star is Born. How to Save a Dance.
How to Save a Dance.
Yeah.
What do you think that is?
I don't even know what the fuck How to Save a Dance is, nigga. But I'd watch it. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
If Bradley Cooper was in it, I'd fucking watch it.
He's really good.
He's unbelievable, right?
Unbelievable. Okay.
So it's
What is this movie?
young star, young rising Brad, and he goes, "I'll never let him." You know, you hear him say, "I'll never let him touch me," and he goes to step off, and he looks over, and you hear some gunshots behind him, boom, 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 and he turns, and the camera kind of pans back, and you see his neighbor had obviously because there's banging going on, and hey, what's going on? And they shot and killed him, and he goes, "My neighbor must have complained. God, for a guy with a 4-digit IQ, I must have missed something." That's what I'm saying. He's saying how smart he is. Okay. And he goes, "I was this close with having an impact on the world." And you see him looking down. And now the only thing I'm going to have an impact on is this sidewalk. The camera pans down super fast. Limitless.
Wow.
Okay. You see the cool shot of the camera going through all of New York City but these it's like a still image, and then the camera will go through that, and then like another still image, and the camera go through. You know what I mean? As the credits keep rolling. Finally, it comes down on the city, and we see a man walking, right? And it's Bradley Cooper, but he don't look like how he looked when he was about to jump off the building. When he was about to jump off the building, he looks like what we know him as right now: sexy, beautiful hair, beautiful chiseled jawline, amazing Bradley Cooper. When we see him now, he's got like really nasty ponytail. Like, you know those nasty ponytails with like, and like balding almost, you know what I mean? And disheveled, and his face got kind of acne, and he's not in shape. Like, he doesn't look good at all.
Okay.
And he goes, "See that guy? That's me not so long ago." He goes, "Now what guy with no drug or alcohol problems would look like this?" A writer would. He's a writer. All right. We see him. He's walking. He's talking to people at a bar about his book, and it just makes no sense. Like, and you tell people, like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And he goes, "Today was the day. Today was the day I was going to kick this book's ass." And we see him trying to write, and he gets nothing done. He goes, "Just the important thing is you just put in the time." You hear him saying it to himself. Stay in the room. You just don't leave the room. That's all you got to do. Cut to, he leaves the room. He goes to a bar. He gets drunk. Weeks pass, maybe months.
How does he support this? Does he like have a book deal?
He already has a deal.
Okay.
All right. So months have passed though, and he has not written anything. He's a slub. His place is disgusting. He looks like a slub. He's just a slub, right? But he goes, "At least I had Lindy." Cut to, we see a girl handing him keys back.
Oh no.
And he's like, "Just like that?" And she's like, you see this beautiful blonde girl. She's like, "Come on, Eddie. This is hardly a surprise." And he's like, "Please, come on." She's like, "Let's not do this." He goes, "Come on, just wait till Friday. I handed 90 pages Friday. They're going to love the book. That'll change your mind." Right?
Why would that change your mind?
Because like I'll be successful.
Oh.
And he goes, "Just wait for me." And then she goes, "Eddie, come on. I already know how it's going."
It's not going.
She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I was your girlfriend." He goes, "You know you were more than that. You were my paramour. You were my muse." She goes, "I was your cleaning lady. I'm your bank." And then she pays for the lunch that they're at. And he's like, "But what's mine is yours. You know that. Like, when I make it, like, it will be fine. Like, it'll be ours, you know?" Kind of what I tell you.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Come on, I want to spend my life with you. You know that. I want to. And she goes, "Don't propose." Cut. It stops. The movie stops. And he goes, "True." You hear the narration. "True. I was married out of college briefly." You see flash cuts of him marrying this beautiful girl named Melissa. It's like really fast. Like flash cuts of them getting married and then immediately getting divorced. Like within day, like that type of shit. You know what I mean? And cut back to them eating lunch, and he goes, "Well, Lindy, I still love you." She goes, "I know. I got to get back to work." And you see her packing up her shit, and she leaves. And then he goes, "Wait, you didn't tell me what happened." And she goes, "Oh, I got it." He goes, "I knew you did. Hell yeah." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm an editor. You believe that?" And she goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, of course I believe it. Like, you deserve it."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, thanks." And she leaves.
Aww.
All right. And then you see him, he's sitting there, and he's like, "Oh, she was right. Why stick it out with me? I mean, I missed the on-ramp. We all knew where this was headed. We all knew where I was going. I was going to end up right back home, back in like wherever he says, North Carolina, working for my dad at this like bait and tackle shop. Like, you know what I mean? Or whatever. No, he's like at my dad's dental equipment office.
That's a lot different than a bait and
Yeah, it was like some boring like stock, doing stock shit. And then as he's walking, he's thinking all this, you hear, "Eddie!" And he turns around and he goes, "Whoa, 9 years. What relationship is less important than that of your ex-wife, that of the ex-wife's brother?" Right? And you see this dude dressed really nice. And remember he said he got married before?
Yeah.
It's her brother.
Okay.
So just this dude was in his life briefly.
Yeah.
Right? And the dude walks up. He's like, yo. And he looks at Bradley Cooper. He's like, damn, man, you look like you live on the streets. He's like, yeah, I'm writing. He's like, oh, you still trying to do that writing thing, huh? And he goes, actually, I have a book contract, a deal. And he goes, oh, okay, good for you. And then Bradley Cooper goes, what about you? You still dealing? And he goes, do I look like I'm dealing? And then Bradley Cooper looks at him, and the guy looks amazing.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no. And he goes, well, you want to go get a drink? And Bradley Cooper's like, it's 2 PM. He's like, has that ever stopped you before? And Bradley Cooper's like, Cut to, they're at the bar, they're drinking. And you see the dude, Bradley Cooper's like, how's Melissa? How's your sister? And the brother's like, I wouldn't know. I don't see her. She moved upstate, has a couple kids. And then Bradley Cooper's like, oh, who's her husband? He's like, I don't know him either. He apparently walked out on her right when the kids were born. Wow. But I mean, what do you care? You guys were married 5 minutes. Like, he's like, I want to talk about you. How's the book? How's everything? And he goes, I'm actually the book. I'm behind. He goes, really? He goes, yeah. It's polluting my days and nights. I can't sleep. I can't eat. It's fucking my life. And he goes, well, how much have you written? And he goes, not one word, not one single word. And the dude's like, I suppose I can help you. Just this
He
once.
still is a dealer. He
And
never
then-
said he wasn't.
Bradley Cooper goes, oh, no. So you are still dealing. And then the guy's reaching in his pocket and he goes, bro, I'm light years from that. I'm a consultant for a pharmaceutical company. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah. And he pulls out a little pill and he's like, oh, this is FDA approved, baby. He goes, let me see. He goes, what's in it? He goes, let's just say this. It activates these little receptors in your brain that give you access to all the circuits. Basically, this lets you access all of your brain.
That's dope.
Okay. And you see him looking at this little pill, this one little itty bitty clear pill, this big. And he's like, what, you think I'm gonna take this one little pill and I'll get just a bunch of fame and fortune like that? And then right then the other dude gets a call and he's like, no, God damn it, no. Ugh. He hangs up. He's like, well, I gotta leave, Eddie, but let's do this again. And he gives him his card. He goes, call me. That one's on the house. And he goes, no, man, seriously, I don't want your drugs. And he goes, hey man, that shit costs $800 a pop. You're welcome. And he leaves. Right? You see Eddie just looking at the pill like, what the fuck? He's walking home and he's thinking, he's like, I thought about Melissa. How the fuck is she a failure too? Right? Is it me? Like, she was so smart. And he starts thinking about like his whole life that's from her to this point. Right? And how much of a loser he's been. And like, it's all these flash cuts of him like stealing Percocet from his grandmother. And like, you know what I mean? He's just just being a bad dude and a loser. And he goes, of course Lindy dumped me. I mean, in the end, how much worse can anything get? And he stops and he just throws the pill in his mouth. Fuck it. Right? You see the pill kind of like the camera zoom in on his mouth and like you see it like go down like into his belly. Okay? And he stops and he kind of like looks and nothing happens. And so he starts walking up his stairs to his place and he goes, oh, last thing I wanted to do right now is see anybody. And he sees and he goes, and there she was. And he sees his landlord's wife. And he goes, my landlord's nasty young wife. She's super hot. Okay? And her name is Valerie. And he goes, it's Tuesday and I'm late on rent. Damn it. She turns, she goes, oh, if it isn't this fucking loser. And she just starts going off on him. Right? And then as he's going off, he's thinking to himself, he's like, I can't believe I just thoughtlessly ingested a substance. I got no information on what it is, what it's going to do. I mean, what if I start tripping? He's saying all this while she's yelling at him like in his brain. Right? And then you see her going like, hello, are you even listening to me? Right? And then he goes, and right then I felt it. And everything kind of gets brighter and his eyes kind of light up. And he turns and he sees himself like in slow motion coming up the stairs. And he kind of sees everything in slow motion, like, whoa, And you see everything kind of get real bright, and he hears everything. Like, he can hear everything, and he notices the sweat on her forehead and like what's in her purse and like he just notices everything. And you hear him say, I was blind, but now I see.
Wow.
Right? And she keeps yelling at him, you're not even a man, you have no rent, no job. And she starts getting farther away, like tunnel vision as she's yelling. And he's like kind of just thinking. And then he just cuts her off and he goes, what's wrong? And she goes, huh? And he goes, yeah, you don't like me. I understand that. You see a self-depleting, energy-sucking loser. I understand all that, and I'm late on my rant, and I haven't been that nice to you, but that shouldn't make you this upset. What's really going on? Are you mad about your law school stuff going? Like, are you mad at law school? And then she goes, how the fuck would you know that? What are you, some kind of creep? He goes, no, I just saw the book. And he looks in a person, you can just see like the edge of the title of a book that she's reading, right? And then he starts saying everything that's in the book.
Whoa.
And you hear the narration, he goes, this is crazy. I literally had just seen that book before one time in my life when I was in college trying to fuck this TA. And you see a flashback to him like there's a girl in the bathroom and when you're just kind of waiting, looking at a book like that, he's just like doing that to this book though. And he's just kind of skimming through it. But now it's all coming like right on his brain, like every single thing he saw.
Yeah.
Like all those memories, right? And you're like, whoa, right? And he goes, yo, what the fuck? He was like, did my conscience, he goes, my conscience brought this like memory up. Like, was it always there? Like he started, like in the narration, he's saying, he's like, was this memory always there? Like, was it just sitting there waiting in a part of my brain that I didn't even know it existed? Like, this is crazy. Which is, I was like, damn, that is crazy if you can just access everything like that.
Yeah.
That would be wild. Because you would be this smart. You would know everything. Because it'd be everything you've ever heard. And you could just have access to it right then and there.
Yeah, it's just there.
And so he talks to her about the paper that she's writing, and she starts saying this stuff about it. And in his head, he uses this shit he saw from one PBS thing, a random magazine article he saw, this shit he saw like on a subway station, like, you know what I mean? Like they're just all, and he's just using it all. And it sounds like he knows everything about what her paper's about, right? And she's just like laughing, and now she's talking to him about it. And then you hear the narration go, she didn't have a chance. Cut to, they're back at his place, and all the paper stuff is all laid over the ground, and she is fucking the shit out of him.
Whoa.
And you hear the narration, he's like, we worked on the paper too.
Whoa.
A polished gem when it was done.
Whoa.
He goes home, he looks at his place, and he's like,
Still looks like a slob.
still looks like a slob. He goes home, goes to his place, and he's like, this can't be mine. Who would live like this? First thought, torch it. Saner heads prevailed. Cut to, it's a montage of him cleaning his place like a meth head.
Wow.
And like organizing everything. And then he sits for a second, and his place is now so nice. This little itty bitty New York, like now it looks like immaculate, this little room. Like, and everything's put just so, and like how you would want to space it, you know what I mean? And then he thinks for a second, and he goes, what the hell is this drug? He goes, I haven't wanted a cigarette for 6 hours. I haven't eaten anything. I wasn't high. I wasn't wired. I was just clear. I knew what I needed to do and how to do it. Cut to him on his laptop. The words are just flowing, and he's just smiling. You see like words flowing like out of his brain almost, like, right? He wakes up the next morning, and he goes, I sent a little probe down to my brain to see if there was any brilliance left down there. Nothing came up to greet me. And he looks around. He's like, in short, I was back. But something remained. He takes the script that he has now to the fucking editor place.
Yeah.
And he lays it down, and she goes, you're kidding. And he goes, no, ma'am, I'm not. And the lady's like, words appeared on a paper written by you. He goes, just read 3 pages. Read 3 pages in the next hour, and if you don't want to keep reading, I'll give you my advance back. And she's like, okay, Eddie. He leaves, goes home. When he gets home, he checks the voicemail. He has 3 voicemails, and it's the lady. And she goes, Eddie, reading the first couple pages here. Just call me back when you get in, please. Another voicemail. Boop. Okay, Eddie, I'm like 40 pages in. It's a little grandiose, I will say, but I am still reading, so please just call me back when you get in. Boop. Okay, Eddie, how the fuck did you do this? How did you do this? Call me immediately. You call me right now. I'm serious, right? And he's just like laughing to himself, like, damn.
Yeah.
Right? So he grabs the phone, he's about to call, and then he gets nervous. Obviously, because why, Sam?
He doesn't have the drug.
Well, he knows he can't.
He can't deliver.
He can't deliver. So he puts the phone down, picks up the card. Remember the guy gave him.
Yeah.
Goes to his place. Do. Hey, yo, Vernon. Do. Vernon, it's Eddie. And you hear Vernon go, who? He goes, Eddie Moore, I saw you the other day. Yo, Eddie, this isn't a good time, man. Vern, please, I just need to talk to you. The dude opens the door. He's all beat up.
Oh, no.
He's like, yo, what the hell? Fuck, Vern, what happened? He's like, look, I'm fine. What do you want? And then Eddie kind of looks at him, and his eyes get big, and he goes, you're interested in that stuff, huh? And he goes, it's amazing. And he goes, yeah, it works better when you're already smart. I figured it would work good on you.
Oh.
All right? And then,
It's a good sales tactic.
yeah, and Bradley Cooper goes, who did this to you? And the guy is like, oh, you don't want to know. And he's like, well, what's that pill called? And he goes, well, the boys in the kitchen are calling it NZT48. And then Bradley Cooper's like, the boys in the kitchen? That doesn't sound too FDA approved to me.
Yeah.
And the guy laughs and is like, you really believe that shit? Wow.
Oh.
And then he says that, and then Bradley Cooper, like, everything freezes. And he goes, I look around. What do we have here? Dangerous drug, not a real lab, by a dangerous guy. He's thinking, and then you hear Vern go, you want some more? And Bradley Cooper's like, yes, please. And he goes, okay, but I'm gonna need some errands done first. And he tells him like, yo, you gotta go get my suit, you gotta go do this, you gotta do this, and you gotta go get me breakfast.
Oh.
And Bradley Cooper's like, fuck. And you hear the narration. He's like, he knew he had me. From now on, I was his errand boy, his little bitch. I would do anything for him to get that pill, and he knew it. I would do anything to bring back Enhanced Eddie. Yeah. He leaves. You see him getting all this nigga stuff. Comes back. He's got all his shit. The door is open. Yo, Vern. He opens the door. Like he kind of like opens it all the way. Everything in it is smashed. Everything. Yo, Vern. Vern's on the couch like this, right? You just see him from the back. He's like sitting there. He walks to the front. Bullet in that nigga's head. He's dead. He drops everything. He starts to panic. Vern. Vern. He thinks he hears something in the other room. He grabs a golf club and he's like, hey, fuck you, hey. And he just stands there. They let you feel it for a second. No one comes out. He goes to call 911. He goes, hi, I need to report a murder. And the police are like, oh, are you at this place? He's like, yes, ma'am. They're like, all right, they're on their way. He sets the phone down. He's like, he can't believe it. Time passes. You hear the voiceover. It took forever. The longer I stood there, though, the clearer I saw. Vern knew whoever did this. He let them in. And I have one guess what they were looking for. But the real question, and you see him looking around, had they found it? Cut to, this nigga puts gloves on. He starts searching the place. Like a madman. He's going crazy. Searching. He finds nothing. He finally sits next to Vern, all tired on the couch. And he looks at the food that he had originally brought him. And he's like, damn, man, if you ever cooked, I'd be dead too. And then he thinks, and he looks over at the kitchen, and he looks at the oven, opens the oven, opens the bottom part. Sure enough, there's a fucking little thing wrapped in there. He fucking grabs it. He opens it. There's money, like a big thing of money, like a grip of money. Little black book with names in it, and a little clear bag about this big with like 200 pills in that bitch.
Oh, damn, there's a lot of those pills.
A lot of those pills. All right. And then right then, as he's looking at it, you hear like heaven music, and he's just like, his eyes are getting big, and he can't believe it. And then you hear, boom, 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 police, open the door, boom, boom, boom. He hides it in his like underwear, and then you hear boom, boom, boom. He takes the gloves off and he opens the door, and they're like, let me see your hands, let me see your hands. He's like, I called you guys, right? Cut to, he's at the police station now, and he's getting interrogated, obviously. Yeah. And they're like, so you and this guy were tight? And he's like, no, that's my ex-wife's brother. I ran him to him on the street, and he asked me to come up to his place. And the guy goes, what, to buy drugs? And he goes, no. He goes, well, what did he do then for a living? He was an antiques dealer, I had heard. And the cop goes, oh, so he was a dealer? He goes, yeah, but I mean, well, of antiques, like chairs and stuff. And the cop's like, okay. Right then he gets a call. Cop answers. He's like, oh, hello. So, yes, ma'am. Yes. He's actually right here. Yes. And he goes, it's the victim's sister. And you see his eyes get big. He's like, he grabs the phone and you hear, Eddie? And he's like, you hear the voiceover. I hadn't heard her voice in 10 years. Wow. And then you hear, you were there? And he goes, no, I wasn't, Melissa. I was there just before. I ran into him. She goes, he was involved with some stuff. I shouldn't say anymore. He goes, yeah, don't say anything else. And then Bradley Cooper's like, we should meet. And she goes, no, we can't meet. He goes, oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll see you at the funeral. No, do not come to the funeral, please. I don't want that. Just, I'll call you when this is all over, okay? Goodbye. She hangs up. He's like, what the fuck? Right? Cop's looking at him, and he listened to all this. And the cop's like, something doesn't gel with this. Leave your number. I'll give you a call. And he's like, okay. All right, he leaves. So he's super paranoid on the way home. He's walking home. He's like thinking everybody's looking at him. He finally gets up to his place, locks the door. You hear narration. worth the risk. Counts the money, takes a pill, looks at the kind of like almost looks at the camera, and you hear the voiceover go, I mean, what would you do? And you hear that da 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 da. We see him walking down the street now. Everything's beautiful colors again, because it kind of goes in and out from like real life colors to like almost like Willy Wonka, like just so bright, you know. And the color, and he looks in the mirror and he's like, "Whoa, that's what I look like." And he gets himself a haircut. He starts going to the gym. He gets super nice suits. You see, he goes, "Man, with Vern's stash and a little motivation." It enabled me to finish my book in 4 days. You see him turn the whole thing in. He's super hot now. Like all he needed was to like just clean himself up a little bit.
Of course,
you know,
Bradley Cooper.
He's Bradley fucking Cooper. It's like the girl when she takes the glasses off in the movie. It's like that situation.
Okay, yeah, you were ugly.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper, you were ugly.
We get it.
I guess.
Yeah.
So, he goes, a tablet a day and what I could do, limitless. I learned to play piano in 3 days. You see him playing like unbelievably. Math became useful. You see him gambling at 21 and like winning a bunch of money. He goes, even half listening to a language, you see him like jogging, listening to like French. And he goes, and I can speak it fluently.
Wow.
Right? We see him talking to a gorgeous woman at the club in French, and she's just like, and then he fucks the shit out of her in the bathroom. We see him at home talking to his parents and like just helping out with like their money situation. You see, he's like, I suddenly knew everything about everything. And people everywhere were listening to me. And everywhere he goes, people are just listening to him because he's so smart. He knows everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's so charming and charismatic and just all this stuff. And he goes, everything was just pouring out of me and available at a moment's notice. You see him meeting, he goes, I met new friends and they invited me to the beach. And you see him flying private jets to this like mansion on the beach with like these really rich, awesome people, you know? He goes, all my fear, all my shyness gone. You see everybody wants to talk to him, right? He goes, but lounging wasn't enough. Cut to him in a sports car driving like a madman. He can like drive amazing. He goes, only problem was if I wasn't moving forward, I feel like I was gonna explode. You see him at the top of a cliff with all these friends and he goes, has anyone ever jumped before? And they're like, what? No. And he just does. And they're like, oh my God. Hits the ocean. And he's like, whoa. You see him jump up and he's like hair in his body, right? He looks great.
Yeah.
And he goes, and then right then, I began to form an idea. Suddenly, I knew what I needed to do. Not writing, not books. It was much bigger. But it would take money to get there. And in a down market, no one made much, but I had NZT. We see him looking at numbers and stocks and yada, yada. With Vern's 800, I made $2,000 in 1 day. Next day, I made $7,000, but it's too slow. I need more capital. And banks weren't loaning to a guy like me. He goes and sees a Russian gangster. Remember how our movie started?
It was the Russians.
It's trying to pound in.
Yeah.
So you see this Russian dude, and he goes, yo, I'm looking for a short-term loan, yada, yada. The Russian dude's like, yo, forget it. And he's like, why? He's like, because I don't know you or like you. You know, why give you $100,000? He goes, because I can quintuple your money in 4 days. Quintuple your money. I've quintupled my own money 4 days in a row. Imagine what I can do with this. And the guy goes, oh, you have a fix? He goes, no. And then he tries to explain to him how he's been doing it just like by using his brain, right? Yeah. And the guy doesn't like, he's like brushing him off. And he's like, okay, all right, it's a fix. You're good. And he goes, all you people get caught. He goes, look, I'm not going to get caught because I have a strong feeling you're not someone I would like to disappoint. And the Russian dude kind of smiles. Cut to, they meet in the park later. He gives him a bag. And he goes, you take this. You don't pay. You know what we do? We cut you at waist, peel your skin over your head, tie it in knot, and you suffocate.
Wouldn't you die when he cut you at the waist?
Not if you peel just the skin.
Oh, gross.
He goes, good. He goes, you don't, he says that too. He goes, you don't die like this. You suffocate. And he goes, gives him the money. He leaves, right? Cut to our boy. He's hanging out with this, like one of the friends that he met when he was meeting all these people. One of them was a stocks guy. And he shows up to his, like, you know, the guy hooks him up with like an office, yada, yada. He goes, I up my dosage and it up my learning curve. We see him day trading in the office. And people are asking him why he made certain moves and yada, yada. And he's like booted in, like jacked, like on some Wolf of Wall Street shit. He's locked in, right? And he goes, my account had $2 million in like 2 weeks or like a week, like in like a couple days, 7 days or whatever. Word quickly got out. He gets home. He has 19 messages, 4 different job offers, banks approving him all these kind of credit loans. An article from the New York Post wants to do a whole thing on him. And then you hear him get another call and they're like, yo, you got Carl Van Loon wants to meet you. You got a meeting with Carl Van Loon. Okay?
It's Carl Van Loon.
We'll find out. Cut to him with at dinner with Lindy, the girl he broke up with, his ex. And he's speaking in Italian to the waitress, right, and making the waitress laugh. And she's, of course, like, what the fuck? And he looks amazing. And she's like, whoa, you speaking in Italian now? Right? And he's like, oh, yeah, just, yada, yada. And she's like, wow. She's like, no, she goes, wow, Carl Van Loon wants to meet you and you're speaking in Italian? Like, who is this? And he goes, just a little self-improvement. And she goes, well, wow, he goes, also, I wanted to apologize to you. But the real question I wanted to ask you is, why'd you put up with me for so long? And she kind of looks at him and she was like, I was in love with you, Eddie. And she goes, so when does the book come out? And he goes, next year. And then he goes, and she's about to start talking. He goes, I just want you to know, I'm really happy you here with me right now. And he smiles. Oh. And she goes, wow, I'm so proud of you. And honestly, I'm a little intimidated. And he cut to, you hear the narration. He's like, yeah, we started up again. Cut to there at his place. They're fucking the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
At my place, her place, outside, basically everywhere. You see him in the future. She's reading about him in the paper, yada, yada. He's laughing. She asked him for a key. And he goes, how about instead of I giving you a key to my place, how about I get a new key to our place?
Ooh.
And then she's like, that seems like that would be a little cost effective. And they kiss. And he looks over and he sees a guy staring at him. And he goes, here, let me walk you to work. And they leave and the guy kind of follows them. He just kind of notices.
Yeah.
All right. Cut to him at night looking out the window. And then she's like, oh, you should go to sleep. Your Van Loon meeting is tomorrow. He's like, yeah, I should. He goes to reach for the counter. He almost falls. And now he's in the hallway. And he's like, what the fuck? And then she comes out and it's the next day. She's like, Eddie? He's like, yeah. She says, you okay? He turns and he's like, and she's like, what are you doing out here? She's like, when's the last time you ate? And he's like, I don't. Cut to whom? He's at the meeting now, right? And he's eating. The other stock friend shows up and he's like, yo, you got to be warned. Carl Van Loon's this kind of guy. He's one minute he's your best friend. The next minute you're a leper and he's going to eat you up. And he only wants direct answers. And are you ready for this? I think we should rehearse. And he goes, Kevin, I'm eating. You see Bradley Cooper just keep eating, right?
Yeah.
And the dude is like all nervous because it's Carl Van Loon. It's like the biggest guy, right? In walks Carl. Robert De Niro.
Nice.
Come on, Doug.
He's the biggest guy.
He's the biggest guy.
Some of that water. Thank
I
you.
don't think it gets bigger than Sam. You're just the greatest guest.
Should we just sell water? Water.
Can I have some of that water? That's all you have to say. Can I have some of that water? What a guest. So Robert De Niro walks in. They shake hands. He notices everything about Robert De Niro. And he goes, so Eddie Moore, the young genius, what's the secret? And Eddie's like, medication. And everybody at the table kind of goes, and he goes, yeah, I'm on a special medication. And Robert De Niro's like, okay. Like, kind of like, fuck, Cut to him talking about how he got the stocks and what he knew, and he explains his formula, yada, yada, yada. And then one of the other guys is like, this sounds like delusions of grandeur. And he's like, no, this is a recipe for grandeur. Like, this is what this is. Cut to them leaving, and Robert De Niro's like, look, man, I don't know your game, Eddie, but you pick stocks in a way I haven't seen before. So here, do this. They get in the car. He's like, I want you to take a look at these companies and tell me what you think. Take your time. He's like, all right. You see they drive, and you see Eddie looking at him. He's looking at him. And then he goes, well, these companies really aren't the question from what I'm looking at, are they? And Robert De Niro kind of smiles, and he's like, explain. And he starts breaking his theory down. He's like, I don't think you want any of these companies at all. I think this is something to do with something else. You're thinking of a big merger. But there's only one company big enough to merge with you. And then you see the dude, Robert De Niro's eyes get big. He goes, who the hell have you been talking to? He goes, it must be Hank Atwood. You guys are going to go for it. The two of you together, the whole world will have to beg you for energy. And then Robert De Niro kind of takes the shit back and he looks at him. He goes, you're either a spy or just a really smart young man. And then you see Robert De Niro smiling, and he asks him more questions. He goes, look, all right, you did it, kid. You proved your point. You can work for me. Like, you'll work for me. You'll work on this. You get your shot tomorrow. Meet me tomorrow at 10 a.m. And you tell me how this gutsy smuck who needs a ride home, because he's giving him a ride home, will help me merger the biggest deal of all time. He's like, all right. Gets home, parks car, he gets out, and he's like, you hear the narration. I didn't even want to go in. I wanted to walk, move, ingest, and digest. Van Loon was my bridge, my shot. I mean, Wall Street, what's next? How far could I go? CEO? maybe president, shake up the whole free world, really get things done. Cut to him, he's looking in the mirror, and boom, he skips again. And he almost walks in the street, and he's like, how the hell had I gone 10 blocks? All of a sudden, boom, he skips again. He's up by the Met. He's like, I'm uptown? He starts running. Now he's like so far. We see him cut to, he's on the subway. And he's walking, and he bumps into some guys. And then the guys start pushing him, and he smiles, and he's like, a fight? Do I even know how to fight? Or do I? And then all of a sudden, the guy swings at him, and he just like remembers some shit he saw Bruce Lee do in a movie. And he's like, and then he starts fucking niggas up. And then he remembers like how Ali hit a nigga. And he like, bam, hits him just like that. Like, and he starts fucking these guys up just with like memories like that.
Yeah.
And he's tearing these dudes apart. Cut to again. He cuts again. He's drinking at a club. He goes, what bar is this? He has no idea where he's at. He's dancing with bad bitches. Cut to him at different parties, mingling. He's with different women. Cut to he's like with this blonde chick and he's fucking the shit out of her. You know, like he's going crazy. Cut back to he's running again and so fast, like it's all happening in like cuts. And then you cut again and he's standing on like top of like the Brooklyn Bridge.
Whoa.
And he's like looking out. And he goes, and when it stopped, I couldn't account for the last 18 hours of my life. And we see him like almost cold, like, and he's limping back home.
Oh.
He gets home, he gets a call. It's Lindy. He's like, hey, Lindy, hey, it's me. I thought you were coming over last night. What happened? Call me when you get this. Hope you're okay. Boop. He wakes up and he's like, oh, he hears that voicemail and he goes to his computer and he looks at all the Van Loon stuff and he's looking at it and it just doesn't make any sense to him. And he's like, oh. And he's about to go grab the pills and he stops. And he's like, you're the narration. I decided to give this a shot off in his ET. And he starts looking at all the stuff and he's like, I might as well have been looking at hieroglyphs. So.
Oh, that's a good question.
What?
So if he learns to speak like French or something like that on the drug, can you only access it
On the drug.
on the drug?
Yeah.
Oh.
All this stuff. Everything he's doing can only be accessed on the drug. Every single thing he's doing.
Oh, dang.
He was a loser, Sam. He couldn't do anything at first.
Yeah. But you think that you'd be able to retain something?
Why are you whispering?
Am I whispering?
Yeah, well, me and Sam, we talked about this before the pod. I was like, you
don't
whisper all the
whisper.
time. You have to stop doing this. You have to talk like it's a podcast.
True.
And just now, you were like, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Just talk. It's me and you in a room.
You just tell me the rest of the movie.
No, what were you saying? What were you saying?
You think you'd be able to retain something? Like if you have memories from the previous day, wouldn't you remember certain things?
Yeah, but I took Spanish 3 times and I don't remember any of it.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like, it's like if you don't retain it, you don't. If your brain's not retaining it, your brain's not retaining it.
Okay.
I would like for his normal brain. Like his normal brain also wasn't retaining any of this information. I don't think it's not like he could kind of already speak Spanish and this made him speak Spanish really good. He could speak no Spanish and now he fluently speaks Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, like off the drug, you're not gonna retain it. I don't
This
think.
reminds me of what's that movie?
Phenomenon.
Yeah, it's exactly what it reminds
It's like Phenomenon, except like not an accident.
Yeah.
Because that was an accident. This is like on purpose Phenomenon.
Ooh. It's
So-
a dirty phenomenon.
Phenomenon was a little more fucking dirty.
Oh, he's fucking a lot in this.
He is having a lot of sex in this. I'm not mad at him though, but he is cheating on his girl.
Do what you want to do, Bradley. It's you.
I mean, he's being limitless.
He is being limitless. It would be wrong to not have him fuck.
It would be wrong. So he calls the dude who set up the meeting with Van Loon. He's like, yo, tell Van Loon I can't meet today, yada, yada. I'm sick as hell. He's like, hell no. What are you talking about? You don't cancel on Carl Van Loon. Like, you'll never get this chance again. And he goes, what have you been doing the last day? This is your fucking test, man. Focus. And he goes, yo, I can't pass the test right now. Listen to me. I'm sick as fuck. And the guy's like, no, you listen to me. You pull yourself together. You get your ass down to this meeting right now. Or that's it. And then he's like, okay, I'll be there. We see him show up to the meeting. He looks sick as fuck. He looks like just destitute, you know?
Yeah.
He sits with De Niro, and De Niro's like, so what do you know about Frank Atwood, or Hank Atwood? And he goes, well, I know Bradley Cooper's like, he's a iconoclast. He owns half of Colorado. And then Robert De Niro's like, oh, you mean the basic shit you can learn on Wikipedia? Like, no, where was he 2 years ago? What do you know about him? And he's like, I don't know. He wasn't anywhere. And he's like, and Robert De Niro's like, that's right. He wasn't on Forbes. He wasn't on Forbes' radar. He just came out of nowhere, this guy, Atwood, and blew up and just became this huge billionaire. Like, how does that happen? I'm baffled by this guy. And you see Robert De Niro keeps talking. And as he's talking about like why Atwood baffles him and he's been studying him, he kind of zones him out. Eddie. He zones him out and he notices what's on the TV. Remember I said he was fucking some blonde girl the other night?
Yeah.
She's on the TV, found dead in the hotel room.
No.
Yes. Yes.
And he doesn't know what he did.
He has no idea what he did.
Okay.
So he's like, what the fuck? De Niro keeps talking. He tunes him out. And De Niro finally, he hears De Niro go, so what do you think about all this? And he goes, and he's looking at the TV and not at De Niro. And De Niro's like, oh, come on, Eddie. Please don't tell me you're one of those fucking people who we lose you if there's a screen in the room. And he goes, just pardon me one sec. And you see him run outside and he just throws up. Mm-hmm. He looks like shit. He runs home. Was it possible? Could I have killed someone? Was it even me? Right then he gets a call. Melissa, ex-wife.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie. Vern never gave you any stuff, right? He goes, yes. Oh my God, he did. Please. He goes, Melissa, please, we have to meet. And she goes, no, we can't. He goes, please, Melissa, please, I need to talk to you. And she's like, oh, okay. Yes, meet me at this coffee shop this time, right? And then he goes, thank you. I need to know what you're talking about. And they hang up. He goes through little Vern's that black book that he had of clients.
Yeah.
And he goes outside to a park and he gets on a cell phone and he calls them all. And he goes, hi, can I speak with Jerry Brady? And the person goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Jerry's in the hospital. He's like super sick. We don't know what's wrong with him. He goes, okay. Calls another guy, asks for a dude named Paul. They're like, oh, we're so sorry to tell you. Paul passed away 3 days ago. Are you one of his friends? He goes, yeah, I knew. I'm so sorry. Calls another person. That person's in the ICU.
Oh my gosh, everyone's dying.
He goes, out of everyone I called, they were all either dead or super sick. So, remember how I said there was a guy that he thought was following him earlier?
Yes.
He calls another name on the book. He looks to his right, a couple benches down, it's that dude who's been following him. That dude answers the phone. Mm-hmm. Hello? They both look at each other. They take off running. Like Bradley Cooper takes off running, he takes off running after him.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper's running. They cause an accident in the street because the guy's catching up on him. Finally, Bradley's able to hop in a taxi. He gets away.
Okay.
But he's like, who the fuck is that guy? And what? Because he notices that's the guy that's been following him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he goes to the coffee shop. He sees Melissa. She looks remember how she was a beautiful girl?
Yeah.
She looks fucked up. She looks as raggedy as he did in the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Just like ugly and like gross. And he's like, Melissa? And she's like, hey. She's like, don't tell me I look good because I know I don't. Oh. She's like, I'm sorry. I didn't want you to see me this way. And he's like, no. She goes, but you look good. He goes, yeah, I got myself together. And she goes, NZT will do that. He goes, what do you mean? She goes, I took it too. Vern didn't tell you? And he's like, no.
Oh my God.
She goes, well, yeah, my own brother told me about this awesome drug. And down the hatch it went. And my work rate increased insane overnight. And my boss ended up hating me because I was working so much and they offered me his job and I was killing it. And then I got scared. And he goes, why? She goes, because I'm not stupid. You can't operate like that and not crash.
Yeah.
That's not how this works. She goes, so I stopped taking it and I got really sick. Headaches and throwing up. And then Vern started telling me about the people who died. And then she looks at him and he's like getting real nervous. And she's like, how much did you take, Eddie? He goes, I've been taking a lot. I've been taking a lot. And he's all scared. And then she goes, well, maybe it's a different batch. Maybe they fixed it. Maybe the scientists are different, you know? He goes, no, just finish your story. And she goes, well, I didn't take anymore. And I didn't die, but he goes, but what? She goes, I can't concentrate on anything longer than 10 minutes or 10 seconds. I get lazy and I'm so slow. So slow. These last 2 years of my life, I haven't been the same person.
Oh God.
And then he's looking at her and he can't believe it, right? And then she goes, if you have some left, take it. Don't just go off cold turkey. You'll die that way. Just take enough to stay alive. And then Bradley Cooper's like, do you know who makes it at least? She's like, I don't know. I have to go. She leaves.
Whoa.
He pulls the one that he has in his pocket out, and he's about to take it. The Russian dude sees him, comes up, and he's like, oh, shit. And he goes, you forget about me. 12 o'clock, and you not here? And he goes, I'm here now. Boom, he punches the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Right? When he punches it at him, he drops the pill. Bradley falls. He goes to try to grab it, and he steps on his hand. He goes, what you got here? And he picks it up. He says, what is this? And he's like, it's an aspirin. Don't look like aspirin to me. This is something good, huh? You must want it really bad. He takes it. And then cut to, they're at a bank, and you see him kind of, like, you see Eddie getting $100,000 out for him, and you see the Russian dude outside, and you see his eyes kind of lighten up, like clearly, like,
yeah,
the fuck is this, right? And Eddie walks out and he gives him the money, and the Russian dude's like, I feel good, man. I feel fucking good. What's in this stuff? And he's like, just vitamins and aspirin. And he goes, you're so full of shit, Eddie. And he leaves, right? You see Eddie leaving all fucked up, and he's like, he's sick as shit because he needs the fucking stuff, and he doesn't have any of it, right? And he's too far from his place, but he's close to Lindy's office. So he gets to her office, and like he's like, hey, Lindy, he falls down in it, and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Are you okay? He's like, I'm sick. I couldn't make it home. And she's like, oh my God, we have to get you to a hospital. Let me call 911. He goes, don't you call 911, don't. He goes, I need my pills. She goes, what? He's like, my pills. I need it, baby. It's complicated. And then she's like, what are you talking about? And you hear the narration. I had no choice. I told her everything.
Oh my God.
Fast forward, she's looking at him. She's like, I can't believe it. So all this energy and all this focus, it's been a drug? He goes, it was supposed to be legal. Look, I have a supply stash. And then she goes, and you want me to go get it? He goes, no, I can't get you involved. You're right. I'll go get it. And he gets up and he can barely move. And she's like, give me your keys. And he goes, it's not in my apartment. And she goes, well, where is it? Cut to, she goes to her place and she like looks at this seashell on her table and she's like, in my own fucking house. And she opens it and there's all his stash in her place.
Wow.
He has like 70 or something of those pills left. Like still a lot.
Wow.
Like he ain't got the 200 left.
It's smart to keep it somewhere else.
But that's so smart, right?
Yeah.
That's so smart. Right then. But I mean, it's also dangerous because like you're getting her involved now.
Yeah, you are.
Like if someone comes looking for it, they're going to kill you. They're not going to fucking ask you for it. So he gets a call. It's from her. And she's like, I got the pills. I just got in a taxi. He goes, all right, good. She goes, but someone's following me. He goes, what? And she goes, yeah, like someone's been following me. He goes, how do you know? She's like, well, I left my place and he followed me around a couple blocks and then I got in a taxi and then he got in a taxi right behind me and he's made every turn I've made since right now. That's why I'm calling you. And he's like, you see what he looks like? And she's like, hold on, we're stuck. Oh shit, he's getting out. Eddie, he's walking towards me. Eddie, oh God. The guy opens the door and she's like, oh shit. And she hops out the other side, takes off sprinting. Now they're running full speed. And she's like, help. She runs into Central Park, which I've been to. She runs in.
At night?
No, in the daytime. It's broad daylight. But the dude's sprinting after her.
Oh God.
And she sees these two big guys kind of walking and she's like, help, please, this man, he's been following me. He's trying to kill me. I don't know who he is. And the guys kind of look at this guy who's kind of like looking at him and they're like, hey, and they're so much bigger than him. He's like a skinny guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, buddy, like leave the lady alone, huh? Why don't you go the other way? And he keeps walking towards him. And they're like, yo, buddy, like, chill. And he keeps walking towards him. They're like, yo, man, for real, like, leave the fucking lady alone. And the guy stabs them and kills the guys. He stabs both the dudes a bunch of times, kills these big dudes to death.
Yo,
now,
this got so real.
Now she takes off, like, she's like, like, because now she knows, like, oh, this nigga is about to kill me.
Yeah.
She hides behind, like, some big rocks in Central Parks. We see kids down at the bottom ice skating, okay, with, like, parents and stuff.
It's winter?
Huh?
It's winter?
Fall.
It's fall.
Deep into fall.
Deep fall.
About to be winter. Okay. Clearly about to be winter. Like there's no leaves on the trees and everything's brown and gold, you know what I mean? And it's like, and also everyone's dressed like it's really cold. Mm-hmm. So I guess, yeah, so it's clearly cold. I didn't mention that. Everyone's dressed like it's New York winter.
It was summer.
I know. I'm sorry, yeah, it's winter.
It's winter.
It's definitely winter.
I needed to know that.
It was fall, actually.
It's fall.
Because as time has gone on, it's gotten colder.
Interesting.
All right.
So how long has this taken? Has it been a month of this going on in his life?
Probably a couple weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe a month. Maybe a month.
Escalated
Maybe a
quickly.
month. Maybe actually a month. Maybe a month. Maybe. So you see her now. She's hiding behind the rock. She's scared. She's still on the phone, and she's like, "Are you still there?" And he's like, "Yeah. What happened, baby?" She's like, "I'm stuck. he's gonna find me. He killed 2 guys. He's gonna kill me. He goes, he killed 2. No. You see him like realizing like, oh fuck. And he goes, can he see you? And she goes, no, but he's gonna see me. He's gonna stab me. She goes, no, he's not. She's like, I don't know what to do. He goes, this is what you're gonna do. I need you to go in that bag and I need you to take a pill. And she goes, what? Why? You'll know what to do. He has a knife. He goes, it doesn't matter. It'll come on in 30 seconds and you'll think your way out. That's what the pill does. That's what I've been taking. And she goes, okay. She goes in the bag. She looks at it. She takes one. You see the dude still looking for her. He starts getting closer. And you hear Eddie go, Lindy, I love you. But you see her go like, her eyes kind of get big. Everything gets colorful. You see her slower breathing now. She kind of turns and she sees herself like on the phone in slow motion and she's kind of smiling like, huh, right? And then she thinks for a second and she looks down and she sees the whole park. Everything becomes tunnel vision and she notices a dad like who has his dog, like she has ice skates on, but you know, like the dad's like spinning and he's like swinging her around. Like really sweet, right? And she sees that and she takes off sprinting towards that. And the guy takes off right after her. She hops the gate. She hops into the rink. She's running across the ice and the guy's running after her. The guy pulls out a knife. He's about to stab her. The dad right then like sets the daughter down. She picks the daughter up and slings her too. Slices that nigga's face.
Wow.
Right? He falls. She takes off sprinting still. Okay?
Amazing.
She gets back to her place. Eddie's passed out. She's like, Eddie. He kind of wakes up. She gets the pill in him. She gets him to a hotel. They pass out for the night.
Wow.
All right.
This is exhausting.
Oh, dude.
This is like cocaine.
It's like
what cocaine is?
Is this not like Uncut Gems?
Yeah, it is kind of like that.
In that his I mean, it's like addiction. And it's about addiction.
Yeah, and you're riding the high off of the next like hit.
Yeah. I guess this movie is really a addiction movie.
Yeah.
I always thought of it as like a badass movie. So, we'll take a quick commercial break right now.
Oh.
All the listeners who are like so deep into the movie, it's like, oh yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, we'll see you in a second. Hey, Bean Mafia. That's right. The Bean Mafia gang has stepped up. Spoil the beans. We're here. We got a real ad, baby. This is a real motherfucking ad. Manscaped. That's right. That's Manscaped. You heard me correct. Everyone out there who has been listening to this podcast forever, we got a real product backing us, supporting the Spoil the Beans lifestyle, supporting the Spoil the Beans movement. And you know what's nice is this product is actually the shit. I've never used Manscaped. I've never used Manscaped before. I'm not going to lie. This is the first time I ever used it. Holy shit. Not kidding. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's amazing. It is
top tier.
Top tier. Sam likes the new package.
I dig it.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm talking about my package. This is incredible. Your boy, you know, I'm gaining girth. You gain girth. You gain length. Fellas, Manscaped. You're giving yourself inches, baby. And if Al Pacino didn't say anything, he said, life is a game of inches. You haven't seen this movie yet.
I was like, what?
Any given
say
Sunday.
that?
Life's a game of inches. Nigga, Manscaped. That should be their fucking slogan. It's a game of inches. Life. Your penis. Manscaped. Dude, I love it. Spoil the Beans. That is our promo code. Literally type in Spoil the Beans. Get 20% off. Guys, let me go through how good this is. See this right here? You see this? This bad boy, excuse me, is the lawnmower. Lawnmower 4.0. Dude, I use this, shaved my balls in 10 minutes. Hadn't shaved in like half a year, probably. You know what I mean? Shaved, tire sack, 10 minutes. Unbelievable.
But you're not even nearly as hairy as I am. Hey, for the ladies who are listening to this, you can also use this to shave you. I'm a very hairy lady. I'm a kind of a fuzzy person. What?
She's a fuzzball, dog.
I'm a fuzzball. I'm like a tennis ball.
She's a fucking tennis ball.
I am a tennis ball up in here. And this is very handy, I will say.
Love it. The 4.0.
So
the
quick.
4.0.
Trimmed my fuzz.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, Manscaped, let me tell you something about the 4.0. They engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and incredible comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to our advanced skin-safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys. That is true. I had no nicks.
I wasn't nervous at all.
Yeah, I had zero nicks. And I've shaved my balls plenty of times with other razors and other things like that. You know what I mean? And literally always a nick or two, which sucks because your balls, you don't want your balls bleeding all day.
Yeah, that's gross.
Because it's
You're not
nonstop. A lot of
supposed to
blood down there.
bleed.
Yeah, so you just don't want that. You know what I mean? I didn't know this also. I'm one of the first people, me and you, Samantha, to try the new 4.0, and I am blown away by the performance. I literally am. It's phenomenal. It really is. This upgraded trimmer includes a multi-function on and off switch that can engage a travel lock. It really can. You can lock it if you need to. It also gives you the ability to turn the 400K LED spotlight on and off whenever needed for a precise shave.
I looked up how
Oh
to
my
do
God. The Lawnmower 4.0 even allows you to customize your trim through additional guard lengths with sizes 1 through 4, which is really nice. I didn't need the size length. I was going to go no trimmer, and Sam had helped me out here.
Yeah, we wanted to get a little bit of a fade going.
I wanted more of a fade. I didn't want a full bald, but I like the fade. Did I mention, this is very important, wireless charging. Look at this. This is wireless. This is charging right now, all right? Wireless charging, well, you got to plug it in, but it could be charging right now is my point.
It could be.
Wireless charging uses electromagnetic induction, which can help battery length last longer. Men, if you've been shaving with the same nut trimmer on your face, you've been doing it wrong. No person wants pubes in their mouth.
Yeah, you should have one for each.
One for each. Me and Sam both have one. It's fucking awesome. It's time to get your own ball and hair and body trimmer with Manscaped to make me time the best time and enhance your confidence with some nice, smooth boys. Get 20% off, free shipping with the code SPOILTHEBEANS. All one word, Spoil the Beans, all caps. Guys, it's the name of the pod, Spoil the Beans. Easy. Manscaped, use it. Yo, let me tell you this. These are some of the things that you get. Waterproof trimmer, reduces foot odor. I didn't know that, but this does reduce foot odor.
Really?
It does. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer helps reduce nicks, reduces the risk of ingrown hairs, and reduces the risk of grooming accidents. I stand by all those things 1,000%. This is not because they're the first brand to support us. I genuinely fuck with this. Mm-hmm. The nose trimmer, incredible. Got all my nose hairs out.
He's got a hairy nose. That's the one thing that is very hairy.
I'm not really a hairy guy. My
He's
balls
not.
a little bit, but my nose gets
But your
pretty hairy.
nose needed.
I loved this. The crop preserver, the ball deodorant, genuinely found it refreshing on my testes.
You felt refreshed.
It added a little spice. You know, it really did. I wasn't mad about it. I really wasn't. The crop reviver, the ball toner, also felt good on my balls. I love this bag that they come with. This is just nice for, because I travel a lot.
The shed.
Is that what it's called?
That's what it says on here. The shed. It's
The shed, the travel
storage
bag. I travel a lot,
They have
so
cool
I've been
stuff.
using it on the road. Unbelievable. Unbelievable kit. Unbelievable package. I've been putting my other toiletries in this, but it's phenomenal. Dude, everything they sent us, I've been using. Every single thing. Sam uses them.
I did. I had to trim the fuzz.
Dude, if you're in a couple, get two. Get the 4.0
Yeah, get two.
lawnmower. Unreal. Get the fucking, for fellas, if you got a hairy nose, get the weed whacker. 1,000% recommend the weed whacker if you got a hairy nose. Ball fucking deodorant, the crop preserver, unbelievable. The toner, unbelievable. God, the lawnmower 4.0, seriously. I genuinely loved this product. It is so worth it. It's just, I shaved. I'm going to probably shave again in another week. Took me 10 minutes. Crop the area. More inches.
It took you less time than 10 minutes.
Did it? It felt so fast.
It was very fast. Maybe
was
like
quick.
2 songs.
It was 2 rap songs. So we're talking,
rap
it might be 6
songs?
minutes. Probably, yeah, right. 6 minutes if we're being all the way honest. 6 minutes. Your boy was fresh shaved up. We had incredible sex. Can I guarantee the great sex you'll have? I can't guarantee that. I can hope for it. I'll hope for it.
We can put that energy into
I'll
your
put that
future.
energy. If you use Spoil the Beans, Manscaped,
20%
promo code,
off.
20% off, plus free shipping, I will put that good energy if you're going to have good sex after you Manscaped. I'm going to put that out there on you.
That's free, man.
That's for you. Guys,
lady.
Spoil the Beans. The promo code's right here. Use it. Don't lose it. All right? 20% off. And Manscaped, thank you so much, man. You guys, this
Thank
was
you,
amazing.
Manscaped.
We really appreciate it. We love you guys. Thanks for supporting the Bean Mafia. And back to the movie. We're back. So Also, guys, go listen to Raw Room podcast with Darren Bates. Raw Room, subscribe to the Raw Room, available everywhere on all platforms. Raw Room and Happy Canary Weed on social media. Happy Canary Weed, the best weed in the world from Maine. Shout out my boy Hayden. You hook it up, baby. So the next morning they wake up and she, he looks at her. He goes, "Yo, I'm so sorry about what happened. You never have to go through that again. I can take care of us. I'm back." And she's like, "Who's back, Eddie?" And he goes, "Me." She goes, "No, it's not you." She goes, "You were different before. You were a different person." He goes, "I'm the same person." And she goes, "I wasn't the same person. When I took it, I did things I would never do on it." And he goes, "Well, that's not, you got to understand how it works. It enhances this and that." And she goes, "Eddie, I get how it works. I felt invincible on that pill." And he goes, "But Lynn, you got to understand, this pill, where it will take us. You can't imagine the things we can do, the life we're going to live just a year from now. Do you understand how far I'm going to be?" And then he goes, "And then I'm going to stop taking it. I just have to do these things for now to keep us safe. I have a plan. I swear I'm going to get off it." And she goes, "Okay. And I hope you do." And she leaves.
Ooh.
He looks down the window, and he sees the Russian dude who's just looking up. The Russian dude followed him. You know what I mean? Because he's smart now too.
Yeah.
And he goes down. He goes, "What are you doing? Looking for me?" And he walks up on him. And the Russian's like, "You think I don't know where you are? I want more of that stuff, or I shoot you right here. Take your pick." Bradley Cooper thinks for a minute, goes to get some pills, comes back. He gives him a few. He's like, "We're done after this." And then you hear the guy goes, "Okay." He leaves, and you hear the narration. He's like, "I had to give him some. I kind of had no choice, just to buy me some time until I found a permanent solution."
Mm-hmm. This guy.
By giving a Russian dude some, because it's like,
oh, this is stressful.
This nigga's a gangster, bro. He ain't, I know you think he's stupid, but he ain't. Does that make sense? Because you know how it works better when you're already smart.
Yeah.
But you're thinking like, "Oh, this nigga's a..."
Oh, so stupid. He's so cocky.
He's cocky. He's Rocket.
This is such a bad move. This guy's so stupid.
So we see Eddie talking to now his new security. He hires security. And he's telling him like, "Yo, never be too close to me, at least 15 feet behind. Blah, 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 do this, do that." Cut to, we see him talking to Robert De Niro. And he's telling him like, "Yo, I was sick. I'm sorry I had to leave you out there." He was like, "Yo, you don't get sick in this business." He's like, "I didn't even know who the hell I was talking to." He's like, "Yo, I had 105 fever. It was delirium you were talking to. It wasn't me." All right? He's like, "All right, I'll give you another shot." You hear the narration. 2 months now. It's been 2 months. He goes, 2 months on NCT, and I'm brokering the biggest merger in history. If I maintained even a dose, he goes, if I maintain a even dose each day, remembered to eat and drink no alcohol, I noticed the blackouts didn't occur. All right, so he managed to control that. So we see him, he's getting suits made, and he's like, "Yo, I want a secret compartment made in each of these suits." And so now he has a stash on him at all times. It's in a secret compartment in his jacket.
Yeah.
At all times, right? He goes to see the scientist dude, and the scientist dude is telling him like, "Yo, like you want me to throw darts at a dartboard? That's going to take forever. We got to do clinical trials. We got to do this with what you want me to do with this pill. I don't know about, yada yada." He's like, "I need at least 12 months." And Bradley Cooper goes, "I'll give you $2 million to do it in 6 months." And the guy smiles. He's like, "Deal." Right? Cut to, we see a dinner. He's at a dinner, Bradley Cooper, and he notices the cop is a couple tables over just looking at him. And Bradley Cooper walks up to the cop and he's like, "Yo, I thought we straightened all this out, detective. What are you doing following me around?" He goes, "Oh, this has nothing to do with Vernon. A witness identified me about this blonde girl." And he shows the blonde girl who's dead and a picture of him. He goes, "You want to tell me about your whereabouts April 7th?
Whoa, he still doesn't know that.
He has to get a lawyer now. So you hear the narration go, "I couldn't keep this quiet on my own. Not with the world I'm getting into, and I need to keep this quiet."
Yeah.
Enter Morris Brandt, the most lethal lawyer in New York. You see this fucking little lawyer come out of nowhere? And the lawyer tells him, "Luckily, someone wiped the room, so you're actually kind of clean. Between us," he goes, "but between us, were you actually there?" And he goes, "I don't remember." And the lawyer's like, right? So he's at some big merger meeting with the Atwood guy, and with Robert De Niro and Atwood, and like they're at the big table, and he's doing all the things he needs to do. And you hear the narration. He goes, "These men had no idea I might be charged with a murder." But you see him talking, killing it, just being so smart and charming. They kill the meeting. Atwood says he's going to sign the papers. Everything goes good. They leave. He goes back to De Niro in his office. What? What's up?
Nothing.
What's up?
I just had a thought of how this could end.
How?
Oh, because there's the conversation about like where did Atwood come from?
Yeah.
Maybe he's on the NZT as well.
But how does it end?
I just thought that would be an element in the ending.
Ooh, I see. Let's see if it goes there.
I'm just suggesting that. Just spitballing.
They're spitballing?
Yeah.
Sandballing.
Sandballing.
You're so stupid. So De Niro, he's talking to our boy Eddie, and he asks, so, yo, what do you want to do when this is all over? And Eddie's like, I don't know, definitely got to figure it out and just kind of move forward, but I got some big plans. And then De Niro's kind of looking at him. He goes, it may be on your mind not to work for me anymore. And he goes, hey, whether I do or not, this has been amazing, Carl, and I appreciate it. And then Carl kind of looks at him and goes, I hope it has. And I hope you don't think you got enough for me and now you can just move on. You're a freak. I'll give you that. And your powers are either a gift from God. He goes, your powers of deduction are unreal. They're either a gift from God or sperm or genetics or I don't know what's going on. But you don't know what I know. You haven't earned these powers, son. You were just given them. I can tell. I know people like you. And you see Eddie kind of like, oh shit, like he's talking crazy. Like, oh, he's like not nice right now. You know what I mean? And he goes, you're careless with your powers. You haven't had to earn them. So you flaunt them around like a little brat with a trust fund, baby. See, my powers, you don't know what they are because I've earned them. Yo, this shit's like also like, damn, this is probably what these kind of niggas say to each other.
Oh yeah, they definitely talk shit.
When it's like this, when it's like, you walking around because you're young and cocky. You're walking around like, oh, you got it all figured out, and it's like, bro, what you think? You think I'm old here for some accident? Like, basically what he's saying. Like, you think this is accidental? I'm here.
Yeah.
And he goes, you follow him around like a little kid with a trust fund. You haven't done he goes, you haven't done the time. You haven't had your first marriage yet. Like he said you haven't had the first marriage with that one woman you actually love. You haven't had to bribe or charm or threaten your way to a seat at this table. You can't assess competition because you can't even compete. Don't make me your competition, young man. Just remember that. And he goes, and you see like Eddie kind of like eyes like, oh shit, like I didn't expect that. Even on NZT, he's like, damn. And he goes, I'm gonna open up a line of credit for you. You made $40 million off this merger. You'll want to get a few toys. And he walks off. Like, also like, here's your little cut too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fucking buy some shit.
Yeah.
Bitch. So you see our boy, he gets to his, our boy Eddie goes back to his hotel room. It's completely smashed and broken up. Like clearly the Russians were there.
Yeah.
And he goes, I need a bunker. Cut to him buying this penthouse suite, right? The one that we see in the beginning of the movie. And he's like, yo, what's the asking price? And they're like, $8.5 million. He's like, I'll take it. Right? We see Eddie walking down the street. He's got his security with him, his two guys. We see the Russian dude walking up to meet him. He's got security with him. All right? The Russian dude now, he's suited and booted. He's got tattoos on his face, but he looks nicer now. You know what I mean? Like he's taking care of himself. And you hear Eddie's voiceover. He goes, wow, this motherfucker's definitely on NZT now. And you see him walk up and he goes, next week I need 10 more pills. And he goes, look, man, blah, blah, blah. That's all you're getting from me. And he goes, no, I'm getting more, Eddie. I don't think your Fortune 500 friends will appreciate the details of your dilemma with the police right now, would they? And you see Eddie kind of smile. And he goes, Thursday, I want more pills. You hear me? And he walks away. And then you hear Eddie kind of smile. Eddie like smiles and he goes, you're getting smarter. And the Russian kind of looks at him and kind of winks like,
yeah,
I know, right? And you hear the voiceover. He goes, this can't go on. But tomorrow at 9, Atwood signs the papers and $40 million can solve any problem. He hasn't made the $40 million yet.
No.
It's not all the way official. Cut to the meeting room the next day. Atwood doesn't show up. But Bradley Cooper, he thinks for a second and he tells him, like, and they're like, De Niro and the other dudes are all going off, like, where is he, yada, yada. And Atwood goes, no, it's still on. There's something going on. There's something else going on here, but he's still definitely going to sign the papers. And they both go like, shut up, you little prick. You think you know everything. Like, you fucking shouldn't even be here, yada, yada. And then right then they go, Mr. Van Loon, Miss Atwood is in your office. They all go to the office. They talk to her. She tells them, I'm sorry, gentlemen, but my husband is in the hospital. We have every intention of signing the contract. When he's healthy, we will. And they go, of course. They walk her to her car. As they walk her down to her car, Bradley Cooper notices her driver, the dude who's been following them the whole time.
Ah.
The dude who stabbed those people.
Yeah.
That's her driver.
That's her driver. Huh. What does that mean?
So, right then, Bradley Cooper sees that, thinks for a second, and then the narration starts, and he goes, "Oh, Atwood's not going to get better. He's out of NCT."
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's why the driver was stabbing them. They need the NZT.
He goes, "Wow," in his head, and he goes, "How many meteoric rises have just been because of NZT? So many people." He goes, "It must be endless." He goes, "Well, at least I still had some. My life wasn't in jeopardy, just my money and my liberty." You see him go back to the police station with his lawyer. They give him a number. He's gonna do they're like, "Yo, they have a witness, yada yada. They're gonna pick you out of a police lineup." Right? He goes, "If the person picks you, we're in trouble, but if they don't, we're out of this."
Yeah.
Right? He gives him his jacket. He's like, "All right." He stands in the lineup,
He gives him his jacket.
and you see Bradley Cooper in the lineup, and he's like thinking to himself, "Who's out there? The hotel maid? Her husband? Is this how it all ends for me?" He walks out, the lawyer's smiling, all happy. He goes, "They didn't have a clue." He gives him the jacket back. Gives him the jacket back. He's like, "The guy was stuttering. Was it this guy? I don't know. Was it 4 or 5? He goes, "Don't worry. All good." So he goes, "I leave a free man. So happy." He does, remember, he's supposed to go and see the Russian
Yeah.
and give him more pills.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No.
He leaves the Russian. You see the Russian standing there waiting on him.
Yeah.
All right. He goes and sees Van Loon. It's all over the news now that the merger is happening.
Yes.
All right. And Van Loon's pissed. He goes, "Yo, where the fuck were you? Did you talk to somebody?" He's like, "Of course I didn't talk to somebody. You know me better than that." And then right then they find out Atwood is in a coma. And then Carl's like, "Wow, he isn't playing us. He really is sick. He's dying." And then he looks at our boy and he goes, "What do you know about this?" And he goes, "All of a sudden, I was less equipped to answer. I was overdue to take an NZT." He goes, "Excuse me, Carl, I got to go to the bathroom." And he goes, "Well, you're not excused." And he goes, "I got to take a fucking piss, Carl." You see him walk out, right? De Niro's pissed. He goes to the bathroom, reaches in his jacket pocket. What, Sam?
It's not there.
They're not there.
They're not there.
Who took them?
His lawyer.
The lawyer took them?
Yeah. Whoever took his jacket.
He panics. Was it the lawyer? Was it someone at the station? Was it one of the cops?
It was the lawyer. You don't think it was the lawyer?
I'm just saying that is also, was it like, you
Definitely
don't,
think it was
everybody
the
would
lawyer.
want these pills, dog, if you heard about it or if it was real.
Yeah.
So he leaves, crazy panic. He comes back into the office and a lady goes, "Mr. Mora, this just came for you," right? And you hear Carl still going, "Eddie, what do you know about Atwood?" And he goes, "Look, Carl, I don't know anything." He goes, "You got a long way to go as a liar, kid. Tell me what the fuck you know." And he's like, "I don't know anything." As he's opening the package, he opens it. It's his security guard's hands cut off.
Oh.
And then he's like, "Oh shit." He runs out. All right. And then Carl's like, "Why is this deal dead, Eddie? Tell me what's going on." You see, he's watching out on the news as the wife of Atwood, he's back at his home, at his penthouse. And he's watching on the news as the wife of Atwood is saying, "I don't know about this merger. I don't know who said this. We're not doing any merger with them. I haven't heard anything about this. And if you have any further questions, speak to our attorney." It's the fucking Brandt guy.
Who's Brandt?
The lawyer,
His lawyer.
Bradley Cooper's lawyer, is also the Atwood's lawyer.
Smart.
And he sees that and he just starts laughing because he knows. He's like, "Well, of course. That nigga took the pills."
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And he starts to look sick as shit. The doorbell rings. He turns, it keeps ringing. He goes to like open it and then it keeps ringing. And then he notices someone's trying to open it. And then he goes and he looks at his security cameras. It's the Russian dudes. "We know you're in there, Eddie. Come out." He looks at his phone. He has no service. He can't call anybody. He's like, fuck. They start smashing on the door. Boom, boom, boom. It's the shot of the first movie.
Yeah.
He's now looking over the balcony and he goes, "So here I am. I knew they would kill me slowly and horribly, but at least this choice, the one I'm making now, is mine." He's about to fall off. He steps back last second. He goes, "But we're instinctive creatures. We want to live." My foggy brain So he says, so my froggy brain went to work and tried to remember a place where one tablet might be. He starts thinking of every place he's ever had them. And he thinks of this little tin can he put them in. And he thinks like, oh, I think there's one in there. Right? So he starts going through all the boxes at his place. They're busting through the door. He's going through. He finds the can. He finds one. They bust through the door at that same time. And you hear, hey, Eddie. He falls backwards, trips, drops it. It goes down a vent.
Wow.
No! He tries to get up and fight back. They beat the shit out of him and sit him down.
Oof.
He goes, you know I want more, Eddie. You don't want to upset me. I don't like being down to this last one because he has one left too. Yeah. But his is a syringe. He goes, you see, you don't know how to use it, Eddie. You don't appreciate it. See, I dissolve it into solution. Goes straight into blood and brain faster and lasts much longer this way. And he shoots it up like heroin right in front of him. And he's like, whew, and he rolls his sleeves down. And he's like, my boys are going to find it. You see his boys, they start tearing up his place looking for it. Or I make you tell me, whichever goes first. While the guy's talking, Eddie kind of slowly grabs a knife out of one of the boxes and just puts it behind his like back. And he goes, I'm branching out, Eddie. Import-export company. See, I have a lot on my plate. You're actually lucky I'm even here right now.
I love this guy.
Oh, he's the best. He goes, you see, back in old times, I peel your skin back and flay you. Flay. I didn't know this word before. I had such poor vocabulary. But then I discovered Google. And he says, and now, look at these words. And he starts saying like dubious and like, he starts saying all these words, right, that he knows the meaning to. And he goes, I'm sure you're curious. And he pulls out all these tools. He goes, I'm about to torture you, but I'm sure you're curious about all my tools. They're all sterilized. Oh, I'm going to keep you alive the whole time, Eddie. Don't worry. And he leans in really close and Eddie stabs the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But his guards can't hear it because they're sawing into a safe. So you just hear behind them, right? So he stabs him to death and they both fall down. And he goes, and you hear the voiceover. Not much of a triumphant ending. I'm going to die here too. And you see him slowly dying because he doesn't have NZT. And he goes, only NZT can help me. And the last drop of it is in this idiot's bloodstream.
Oh my God, he's going to suck his blood.
He's laying next.
Disgusting.
He's laying
this
next.
is about addiction. If anything was about addiction, it's sucking another person's blood to get the drug.
To become limitless. Sam, you wouldn't do it to save your life?
Yeah, but the metaphor is that's how you feel when you're on any drug. It's like whether or
That is the
not you
metaphor.
actually perform that way is different. But the feeling is that you are limitless.
And invincible.
And invincible.
That is true.
So this is a drug
You know what's
that
true?
literally makes you that
I
way.
will say mushrooms, not that way. You don't feel invincible. It's a different feeling. Not that it's a bad feeling, but I wouldn't say I would say other drugs, probably you feel a little bit more invincible, like cocaine and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is also an upper, whatever this drug is.
For sure.
This is not a downer.
No.
But mushrooms aren't a downer either, are they?
I don't know. Mushrooms seem pretty neutral.
Yeah, mushrooms to me are like an
It
in-betweener.
sounds like when they talk about how it comes on, the way it feels like to be on drugs, on mushrooms. Like that's sort of like...
Yeah, it does. Actually, that's true. Because
I
the
see
enlightenment.
everything,
So I
yeah.
guess they are kind of playing with the mushroom feel too. I guess you do kind of feel invincible because you do feel like very connected with God and that you're going to live, that life is love and love lives forever. Like you feel things like that and it's
feel
like...
those things, but you're not very productive. I mean, I maybe I am and I just never tried.
You're self-productive. Like I am productive of like
My thoughts.
going through myself and going, no, I'm talking about like
my inner world.
My inner world and like what that world needs to also be addressed.
Yes.
But am I productive in like, am I writing a script
In,
right
like,
then?
the physical, materialistic world.
Yeah, am I getting my errands done? No.
No.
I don't think I'm cleaning my place on mushrooms. It doesn't seem like a thing I'd want to do on mushrooms.
Normally mushrooms, I want to think it is way more about your interior world.
And I want to go outside and connect.
Well, yeah.
To the
But
outside
I feel
world.
like that's sort of part of it. Like when I'm outside, even if I'm not on any kind of drug, there is this sort of connection with your interior world. You sort of go inward even though you're going outward.
That's what you're
One
saying.
assists the other.
Yeah. Sam is Buddha, ladies and gentlemen. Buddha with some nice tatas. Actually, Buddha had great tits too. We have better tits than Buddha. Actually, I don't know. Tit off between Sam and Buddha.
The doorknob.
I don't know.
I have headphones. Should
I have headphones too, but I couldn't tell. It sounded like someone knocked on the door, but it's hard to tell.
Do you want me-
No. We're gonna keep going. That's what the fuck we're gonna do.
Oh, I drop off a memory card.
All right, go ahead and answer it.
All right.
Who is this?
I don't know.
I know this is how we die.
Oh, what's up? Thank you.
I know. How you guys doing?
We're in the middle of a pod. What's up, bro?
My
Later.
bad, dude. Sorry.
It's okay. Later.
I'll talk to you guys later.
I can tell he wanted to keep talking. You can see it on his face. He was like, oh.
He wanted to be here for the whole time.
Yeah, we couldn't allow it. Even though he's a nice guy, I like that guy. What's his name? Blondie.
Joe.
Yes. Rogan.
Joe.
It was Joe Rogan.
It was Joe Rogan.
That was Joe Rogan, everybody. But I did not want him in the room. No, I don't want any extra views. Not on this pod. I want the views we get. I don't want him bringing any extra views in here.
Just the ones we get.
Just the ones we get.
None of
Joseph.
those Joe Rogan views. You don't need all that.
You don't need all those millions.
Keep this still niche.
Yeah, this is about the niche, dog. That's what this pod's about. It's about not making money.
We don't
So-
want to sell out.
You hear our boy go, not much of a triumph ending. You know, the last drop of NCTs in this idiot's blood. And he's laying next to the dude bleeding out, and he stares at it, and he starts like fucking Blade. Slurping it up, dog.
I thought Blade killed vampires.
Yeah, but he also had to slurp up. He's a vampire.
Oh, Blade is a vampire?
Have you never seen Blade?
I've never seen Blade. We've
I
talked
told it
about
to, I
this
told it to
before.
Hassan. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you should watch that episode, and then you'll know about Blade.
I guess I
You
should.
should-
You guys,
instead
let's
of-
all go back and watch the Blade episode together.
So we see the two Russian dudes that are with him. They open up the safe finally, and the only things that are in there are the hands of the guys giving the middle fingers, the hands of the security that they killed. Right? Eddie put them in there. Then you see the NZT kicks in for Brad on the floor, right? And like everything kind of tunnel visions, and he notices there's the syringe on the ground, and he grabs it, and you see the big guy comes back in, he checks on him, and he notices his guy on the ground and Eddie on the ground, and he's like, he grabs his guy, and his guy won't wake up, and then he grabs Eddie. I farted.
Oh, great.
And then he grabs Eddie, and he flips Eddie over, and the guy has one eye, this big Russian guy, and Eddie, the syringe kind of comes out of his mouth, and he spits it in the dude's other eye. And so now the guy has no eyes. It's kind of like Kill Bill Volume 2.
That's so dope.
Like that situation. The fucking, and she's like, ah! And then she left that bitch to die in the trailer. God, I can't wait to tell that movie to Hassan one day. Go back and listen to the Kill Bill Volume 1 episode.
Yeah, it's classic.
That's classic beans right there. So the guy now has a needle in his eye. You see Bradley Cooper start fighting with the other dude, right? He's hitting him, he's fighting him with like a TV. And then you see the guy, like the other guy who can't see, like has his gun just kind of pointed out. And Bradley in Russian goes like, shoot on the right, right? And he aims to the right and he shoots his own dude.
Ah, smart.
And then it's quiet and the guy goes, Victor. And hears nothing. And he gets nervous, so he starts shooting like crazy. And he reloads and he's shooting. And Eddie gets behind a piano and then pushes the piano like through, like on the guy. And the guy goes through the glass and like breaks his back.
Ugh.
Right?
Wait, the glass at the window?
Yeah. Like knocks him outside.
Okay.
Right?
Aren't they on a penthouse, like top floor?
Yeah.
So he doesn't fall down the building.
No, like, so half his body goes out and the other half is the piano's hold. Does that make sense?
No, it's even grosser.
So you see it though.
Yeah, okay.
But you see it, right?
Yeah.
You want me to give you an example? I'll show you. I'll do it to you.
I have a very.
So Sam, you see that window right there?
Yeah.
If I was to push you, so you hear the narration and he goes, the police would later note that my apartment previous owner was an arms dealer and these people were his dissatisfied clients. And the night was still young. This is like him already planning how he's going to get out of this, right? So we see the Atwood guy. He's dead. Eddie shows up to the hospital. He he sees the dude who's been following him the whole movie, the guy who works for Atwood.
Yeah.
He goes up to him and he goes, you know what I find curious about what happened to your boss? And the guy kind of looks at him and he goes, if my attorney was, if my attorney was trying to save, if his attorney was trying to save his life, why is he dead? And at what point was the attorney supposed to ride in with the life-saving medication? He definitely had it, because I don't have it. And you see the dude start thinking, and you hear the narration. His boss was dead, so I didn't matter. But he didn't appreciate more as Brandy keeping those pills for himself and killing his boss. We see the dude killing the lawyer, and you see Bradley stealing the pills back.
Wow.
Right? And suddenly, just like that, it was all still possible. Fade to black. 12 months later. It's been a year now.
But he doesn't have 12 months worth of pills.
12 months later. Remember that book he wrote at the beginning of the movie?
Yes.
It's coming out.
Oh, how
obviously, it's the biggest book. It's huge.
What's
It's-
the book about?
It was a sci-fi novel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a sci-fi novel. But imagine how big that could be, because now it's like, oh, they can make movies off of it. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be huge.
if you write a huge sci-fi novel, like, bro, you can make billion. Like, you can be a billionaire. So, especially if you keep writing them and like they make a movie for it, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're set. So, his book is coming out. It's the biggest thing in the world. He's running for senator of New York.
Cool.
And he's killing it. You see him. He's got a nice blue suit on. He has politician hair now.
Yeah.
Look, you know, he looks like a president. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
The way they start doing Jim's hair when he gets that new job.
exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. Big haircut. Yeah. So you went from being big tuna to big haircut. So you see him. Everyone's calling him Edward now.
Edward.
And they're letting them know, like, yo, we're working on this second overflow of donations, yada, yada. You don't have to even have the second debate. You killed so hard in the first one. They don't even want the second one. You're good. You're set, yada, yada. And they go, oh, and there's someone in your office, this person who just bought this big iVine company. They want to meet with you. He goes, all right, great. He walks in.
It's someone we know.
It's Carl
Carl
Van Loon,
Van Loon.
Robert De Niro.
He's back.
And he goes, oh, what a surprise, Carl. So good to see you, man. He runs up, he hugs him. And he goes, I can't believe you bought the iVine company. I didn't know that was you. And he goes, yeah, I'm moving out of the energy business. He goes, I got this new company now. And he goes, and Carl's like, I'm surprised you didn't hear about it, knowing, you know everything. And he goes, just been busy focusing on this stuff. And he goes, yes, well, it's definitely going to pay off, Senator Mora. I mean, we all know where you're headed after this, right? If you can, maintain. And you see Eddie kind of like, what the fuck you just say, He goes, have you asked yourself, Eddie, what will you do if it runs out? And Eddie kind of now he leans back because now he knows, like,
Oh, you know.
okay, right? And you see he leans back and then he gets up real slow, walks to the door, he closes it, and he turns, he looks at Carl and he goes, when did you know? And he goes, it's not important when I knew. I just wish you'd come to me first, I could have bought the company a lot cheaper if we did it together, and we'd be partners. He goes, oh, so the company you bought, that's the company that makes NZT. He goes, yes, sir, it is. He goes, well, NZT will never officially exist, not under my watch, and I don't need to point out to you the advantages of that. And then Bradley sits down, he's like, explain. He goes, well, you'll get a limitless supply, and Bradley Cooper's like, a limitless supply? He goes, yeah. He goes, you sure about that? You sure I can't get it from somewhere else? And he goes, oh, we shut down all your labs this morning. And Eddie's like, right? And he goes, we shut down your lab this morning. And Eddie's like, okay. Because remember that earlier in the movie? Yeah. He goes, and then Van Loon's like, look, Eddie, I know where you're headed. And I know what's about to go down. And I'm not going to bother you much on your way up there. Given where you're heading, he's like, once you get to where you're headed, that's when my ideas will come. But they're basically talking about the presidency.
Yeah.
Right? And Bradley Cooper goes, okay, but what if I don't like your ideas? He goes, well then, Godspeed to you. Your bright candle will burn out a lot faster than people think. And he goes, huh. He goes, but let's not go there now. I want to keep you brilliant, Eddie. I want to keep you healthy. Let's get lunch. We have stuff to talk about. And he gets up and he walks out, and you see Eddie just kind of like, motherfucker, So they walk outside, and like Carl opens up the car door, and he goes, after you, Senator. And then Eddie looks at him and he smiles, and he goes, thanks for stopping by, Carl. Carl's like, what are you doing? You want to be president or you want to be fucking brain dead? Like, you want me to make that call? And he goes, I think I'll take my chances with you making that call. He's like, we shut down your lab. And he goes, you don't think I have 2 or 3, 4 labs maybe by now, spread out all across the world? You see, it's also like, yeah, this nigga's been planning, bro. He's on NCT, And he goes, well, so what? You're not making any more of it. I'll shut it down. I own that now. I like that property. You can't make it anymore. Yada yada. And he goes, well, that's fine too. He goes, how do you know I haven't thought? How do you know I'm off it right now? What do you really know? Maybe I tapered off a while ago. Maybe I got the bugs out. And Carl's looking at him and he's like, look, all I know is you, whether you're on it or you're off it, you work for me now. And he's like, you're going to be doing this and you're going to be working for me doing that. And then he cuts him off and goes, Carl, first off, you can't afford me. And he says like all the things Carl's been doing to lose money. Like he knows everything about him. And Carl's eyes get big and he's like, you want to go to war with me? Huh? You can't make accusations around like that about me and walk around alive. You understand that?
Wow.
And then Bradley kind of smiles and he goes, yo, man, the fact that you think like that means you are 100% not equipped to have this fight with me. He goes, what are you saying? He goes, Carl, you're just not ready for this. He goes, what? He goes, Carl, that man's going to rear end that taxi. And he goes, what? He goes, that man, in 10 seconds, he's about to rear end that taxi. He's not paying attention. He's texting and boom. And you hear the fucking car crash, right?
Yeah.
And you see, now his eyes are like, the fuck? Right? He goes, Carl, I see everything. I'm 50 moves ahead of you and everyone else in the whole world. And he goes, how do you know I don't have a guy with a beat on you right now, ready to shoot you? How do you know you're alive? How do you know you'll still be alive this time next year? And right then he grabs his chest. And Carl's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, your heart's pumping at half mast. One of your walls is blocked. You got to get it replaced. But you already knew that, didn't you? And you see Carl like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this nigga's a fucking god, you know?
Yeah.
And he looks at him and Carl's like, and he goes, you should be glad about this, Carl. Me working for you, you'd end up being my bitch. And I don't think you want that. He goes, and then Carl's like, maybe we just cool off and we talk again later. Right? And he goes to get in his car. And Eddie's like, yeah, I don't think so. Don't forget to vote. And he slams the door.
Wow.
Right? And then he kind of smiles. And then his campaign manager's like, Ed, you good? And he's like, yeah, I got a lunch. We see him walk into a lunch. Lindy's there. He's like, hey, sweetie, how you doing? They kiss. She's like, hi, honey. And she's like, how's your day? He's like, oh, I've had better. She looks at him, she's like, God, I can't deal with you in this haircut. And then he sees his waiter and he starts speaking in Chinese to the waiter and like making the waiter laugh, and the waiter speaks in Chinese back. And then she looks at him and she smiles and he's like, what? And he flashes that beautiful Bradley Cooper smile. Limitless.
Wait, so it ends
He wins.
and he wins.
He wins. He wins. I knew you were gonna see it.
Is it about addiction?
Is it about how you should stay addicted to the drug?
It's about staying addicted to the drug. It's about taking more pills.
Take more
It's about
pills.
taking
That's
more
the
pills.
answer.
Staying addicted to the drugs you're on. It's about America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Fuck Russia.
Yeah. Russia made an appearance.
They made an appearance in this, and they were bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Classic Russia.
Yeah. You don't need therapy. You need more medication.
Yeah. And old people are just trying to hold you down.
Old people are trying to hold you down. They think they know everything. You know everything.
Yeah. So take more drugs.
Take more drugs and show them how you know much more than fucking whatever Robert De Niro thinks he knows.
Limitless.
that is the tagline.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Boo?
I don't know if I liked it.
It's a lot.
One, I didn't like the ending for sure.
Well, you don't want him to win.
No, I feel like that's wrong. It sends a bad message. Kids today shouldn't see that.
you
You
like-
said it was on TBS and TNT.
All
They
the time.
Shouldn't see that.
What about did you like the ending of Uncut Gems? Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
So she gets all the money in the end, doesn't she? The girl walks away with it.
No, remember he dies.
He dies, but she has the money.
She
like walks out of there. And,
Yeah, it's not like she's a family member. She's just like
No.
some whore
Yeah,
who fucks the weekend earlier in the
I
movie.
like that because it's like he
I would like it if his
loses.
wife got it and his
I
kids
like
got
it
it.
that he loses, and then this girl that like you've kind of invested in as like sort of she's like a drug, an element like a.
She's also part of the addiction,
personification
yeah.
of the addiction.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then she gets it. It's like the personification of addiction gets to win.
Yeah. I mean, he did walk in on her fucking the weekend.
Yeah, it's something in addiction.
And he was the weekend too. It's not like
The Weeknd has been fucking with addiction for a long time.
Weekend, I know, bro. That nigga's like, I mean, I can't feel my
Raw
face.
dogging it.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Yep. Classic Weekend. I mean, it was cool. It was an interesting movie.
Bradley,
Bradley.
who's your favorite character?
Probably De Niro.
De Niro, yeah.
I
Carl.
like that he's like kind of an asshole.
He's kind of an asshole, but he gets fucking bitched out at the end.
Yeah, he does. But that guy, I mean, health. That's the real scary thing for old people. They're like, they realize their money can't buy them limitlessness.
Limitless, yo, their money can't buy them limitlessness.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, you're a good person. I think you're very sweet.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow. Oh, do you
I
do
will-
this to all your guests?
All my guests, but you're the only one I will give half my money to, and all my things,
Oh, wow.
and all my sperm.
Oh,
boy.
You
What
get
about
all
all
of
the
it.
sperm that you lose?
What do you mean? Do I lose?
Like, like when you're walking around, some of it, like, you spill it on the ground.
You think? Oh, you think sperm leaks out? You think sperm is like?
Sometimes it gets lost, like
Yeah.
on the toilet seat.
No, I don't. I'm pretty good about aiming,
Where
right?
do you put it?
In this water,
Well, then that sperm doesn't get to me. See
but
what
it
I'm
still
saying?
belongs to you. It belongs
It
to
still
no one else.
belongs
Yeah.
to me. If something really belongs to you, you set it free. And
Yeah,
it
that's
comes
true. Damn. A bunch of babies, a bunch of fish babies are gonna come back with like little afros and little bald heads. They're gonna look just like me. You like my bald head? You want to rub it?
I do kind of want to
Rub it for the camera.
Rub it for the camera. Here, wait, do it next to the.
Hold it.
Here, wait, hold this next to your head, next to the mic, so they can hear me rubbing it. Closer. Bring your no. Down. Bring it down.
See y'all next week, or actually in a couple days, motherfucker. We have a special episode coming out.
Special.